speak, but we have some questions. Good. We have some questions, but Fabi also left the mics open for all as meninas dos olhos. So if you girls have questions as we're speaking to her, feel free to ask too. So Christa, welcome.
Thank you, Patricia. I am so honored to be here. You have no idea. Brazil is just an extension of our family. You know, it's like someone said, you know, don't you have enough kids? You know, 15 kids. And I did deliver several of them by myself in the bathtub, just me, God, the creator, and the oils. I was using the oils in births. And it's amazing and beautiful and miraculous. But somebody asked me, don't you have enough kids? And it's like this. It's when you're a gardener and you're a professional gardener, or you're even a good gardener, do you just have one flower? No, a good gardener is going to have watermelon, and it's going to have cucumbers, and it's going to have some flowers and some pecan trees. And so Brazil to me is just extension of my garden, and it's not complete without my Brazil family being a part of my life. And so we seriously, all of my family love Brazil. It was such a beautiful impact when Jason and Mackenzie was there, who Mackenzie is my 23-year-old daughter who has written my book on Amazon. And it's literally, I asked one day, I sat down and I was like, how did I make it from dumpster diving, tearing up t-shirts for toilet paper, and then making it to the top of my company so unconventionally? And I mean unconventionally, meaning I looked at this business and said, and I asked myself what I will do and what I won't do, instead of going, okay, I'm going to do this IPA, I'm going to do that calendar, I'm going to do that vision board.
All right. Paul is asking you to slow down a little bit. Slow down.
Okay. Sorry, I'll slow down. I didn't want to be a normal MLM marketer. I had seen that wave come and go. I had looked at Arbonne, Discovery Toys, Pampered Chef, Juice Plus. There were several of them. And I saw the moms, the men, the families struggle. I saw marriages not survive. I saw hustle. I saw usury, meaning I saw leaders use people. I saw companies use people. And I went into this company, first of all, not doing it. I actually grew my business not intentionally. I used the skills I had learned in a business training, and I changed my family with those skills. And because I was able to change my family with the skills I was learning.
You're saying you applied skills that you learned for business in your family first.
Yes, ma'am, totally. Because I realized that the skills I was learning were extremely powerful. And my first business is my home. I am the heart of my home. I am a fruitful vine in the very heart of my home. And if I am not going to do it, there is no replacement. There is no other person that's going to fill that spot. The only thing that will happen is a big void and brokenness if I don't hold that position. So I consider that a very high priority for my life, because I had already experienced medical school. I had already experienced being captain of the team. I had already experienced being a model in Queens, and I experienced going to medical school. I experienced what you might say the beautiful luxuries of life. And I saw it was empty, because you can have $1 billion, but if you have no family at the end of the $1 billion, then you really have not had success. And so when I went into this business, I said, I am not doing this. I analyzed the leadership before me. They would do meetings all day long, 9 to 5. They would have professors teach. They would have experts teach. And I remember sitting in there thinking, I can't even attend these meetings, let alone put one on. I was a mom. I had mom.
Christa, can you just repeat?
And I remember thinking, this is just, it's not duplicatable. I can't do this. And I told them, I'm like, I cannot do what you're doing. There's no way I can do what you're doing. So I had decided in my life that I wasn't going to do this as a business. So, but what I did is I learned 2 skills, and these 2 skills changed the world. And they're so simple that many leaders overlook them. They're so wonderful. They're very, very powerful. They can use to manipulate people, and they can use to push people, but they can also use to change the world. And it was these 2 skills that I mastered. And I used these 2 skills to get people to go to meetings that when Young Living would come to town or a leader was be teaching. And I would use these skills, and people that I knew would come and they would sign up under me. And so I have to say, I got a phone call, and the phone call went like this. Christa, you're like really close to silver. And I responded, I don't care. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do what you're doing. I'm not going to put my husband 4th, 5th, or 10th. I'm not going to put my children where they hate this company. I'm not going to divorce my husband. I'm not going to make everybody I know hate me and ghost me. I am not, there's just so many things I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do a vision board. I didn't want to do IPAs. I didn't want to do calendars. I didn't want to do all of the things, but I could do 2 things. And that's what I did, because I did need the money to pay for my oils. Because when I came to the company, I was very, very sick. I had chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, all the symptoms. I had EMF poisoning, radiation poisoning. I had joint aches.
They're asking you to go a little slower, but I think you just slow down naturally now. Did she catch up? Where's Paul? I can see her.
I can't see her, so I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Paula.
I can't see her either. Oh.
Is she good?
Are you okay, Paula? No. Hold on.
She's having technical problems.
Paul, I can hear you now. What did you say, Paul? The microphone? Is she saying something about the microphone?
She's muted.
Põe a Paula como co-host.
Oh.
E porque ela não está conseguindo tirar ela do mudo. Quando ela pede para Christa have to look at Paula because sometimes she goes like this.
I know, and I can't see her. So let me put her on my screen. Let me see if I can find her. Paula, where are you? I see so many beautiful faces. Danny and Adriana and Nina. There's Paula. Hi, Paula. Perfect. I got Paula now.
Okay.
Okay. Are we good, Paula? Okay.
Yes.
So now I can't see Patricia, so I'm just going to see Paula. I get to see Nina and Paula.
Okay.
So when I came to Young Living, I was pregnant with my 11th baby. I had high blood pressure. And by this time, after having chronic fatigue, lupus, joint pain, EMF poisoning, radiation poisoning, Morgellons disease, and a lot of these diseases weren't even known at the time. And I actually had a chiropractor tell me if I had not done what I've been doing, I wouldn't be alive. At the time, I tried anything anybody told me. I tried chiropractors, naturopaths, cranial state girl, colonics, juicing. Yeah, I did juicing. High omegas. What else did I try? I did IV therapy. I did ozone therapy. I did vitamin B shots. I just tried anything. Was so desperate for life. I literally thought I was going to die. And I was pregnant with my 11th. And now I started having dizzy spells. And the dizzy spells would happen at any time. I didn't know when they would happen. And I would get a little bit of a moment where I would get a whirl. I called them whirls. And it was a warning sign. And then I would hit, and then it would come like a tornado. and it would hit me like a hammer, and the room would just violently spin, like violent, for an hour. And I would vomit, and I would vomit and vomit until I would pass out. And it would last always an hour. And I really hit a wall when I was driving my 15-passenger van and all my kids were in the car. And it happened when I was driving. And when it happens, I can't sit, I can't stand. I lost Paula. Where'd she go? There she is. I just have to lay there and vomit. And my family would watch me do this. And I was pregnant with my 11th baby, and I had high blood pressure. I was so desperate for help. And so when somebody invited me to a meeting, they didn't even tell me what the meeting was. They just said, come with me. I said, what is it? And I said, just come with me. You need a night out anyway. And I went. I had no idea what it was. And I found it was an oil meeting. And at the time, this was 2009. And I looked around, and that time the company was primarily many, many older people. And so there was a bunch of what I call beautiful, wise, gray hairs in the room. There were nobody young. And I'm really thinking, this stuff cannot work. There's no way. So I got started because I had just enough money to pay for the kit, because that was the only time that it was on sale. And so I went up to the teacher and I said, will this help my daughter's asthma? Because at that time, my 2-year-old started having asthma spells. And I knew her future was going to be steroids, inhalers for life. Because I worked OB, I worked family medicine, and that's her lot. And I said, will it help my daughter? And they said, yes, it will. And I said, will this help my dizzy? And they said, yes, it will. I said, I don't believe you. She said, you don't have to believe me. I said, well, when this stuff doesn't work, I'm going to come find you and get my money back. Because I was so tired of trying. I had tried Arbonne, Advocare, anything nutritional that was around at the time. I tried all of it. And I found, after doing research, I actually had a friend that I call her my toxic researcher. You guys know her. Most of you do. Some of you do. Heather Portwood. And I was like, what do you know about this? She's like, it's got this, this, and this in it. I'm like, it's toxic. And I'm like, okay, what do you know about this? And it's got this, this, and this. And when I found out Johnson & Johnson had propylene glycol in it, and I was slathering my babies in it, and it's the #1 ingredient in antifreeze, I knew I was in trouble. I knew it's antifreeze. Like, it's an engine degreaser. Johnson & Johnson baby. And that's what we do. And we did on that's the first thing we do to any baby that's born in the hospital in the United States, is we slather Johnson & Johnson on them. And then I found an article. This was an old article now, but the average American baby born has over 200 known carcinogens in the cord blood. You can look it up. That's been around for 12 years. Known carcinogens in the cord blood. So these children don't even have a chance. And then I started seeing moms. Paula, are you okay? Oh, repeat. What'd I say?
200 carcinogens.
200 known toxic carcinogens, known cancer-causing elements, from Teflon, from all kinds of chemicals that we are using, from candles to Febreze to all kinds of chemicals in the cord blood that the baby lives off of. In the average baby, all in the umbilical cord. So it's so funny, because one time when I was sick, they gave me morphine when I was pregnant, which is a class, I think, C drug, meaning they don't know what it will do to the baby. And so when people come to me and they say, is this okay for my baby? Is this okay for while I'm breastfeeding? Is this okay during pregnancy? Is this okay during afterbirth? I kind of just chuckle, because it's an orange. It's a rosemary. It's a food. And I've never seen anyone die from overdosing on oranges. Have you?
No.
I've never seen anybody die from overdosing with lavender.
sorry to interrupt you, but I think if there's a question that fits here, so many people in Brazil, they always ask us, oh, my friend is pregnant, or she just had a baby. Is it safe to use an oil? And, you know, there's all those charts for dilution and all that. But people are so afraid to use essential oils on pregnant women, but they're not afraid to take any medication for, you know,
with
anything
known
else.
side effects, and that,
Did
and
you
that's
use
just a
oils
lack of
for your
education.
pregnancies?
That's a
Did you-
lack of education, because those charts came out when, say, Gary started the oils. So all these other people started hopping in who are good at promoting, good at marketing. Gary and our Young Living company is not the best at marketing because they spend all of their money on the farms. So this marketing people came in and said, well, we're going to create these charts. And there was a lot of fear, because if you're not using Young Living, those oils, I know for a fact, have chemicals in them. I know for a fact that they have cancer-causing elements in their frankincense. And why I know that is because I have spoken and met and friends with Dr. Lynn, who is a researcher from Oklahoma City. And his mother died when he was 5 of cancer. And he said, I'm going to find the cure to cancer. So he had heard frankincense was good for cancer. So he went to the doTERRA, and doTERRA sent him an oil. He tested it and he sent it back and said, this doesn't cure cancer. So they sent him another batch. He tested it, doesn't cure cancer. Sent him another one, third one. He says, not only does this not cure cancer, but it causes cancer. Has 66% parabens in this oil. And so doTERRA took Dr. Lynn's face, threw it all on their website, inputted a bunch of bad press on the websites. And Dr. Lynn told us he had to hire a lawyer to threaten doTERRA to remove his picture off of their websites.
And Dr. Lynn now is at Young Living, right?
Dr. Lynn, and Dr. Lynn has published 80 papers in PubMed on its ability to, the frankincense of Young Living, to eat cancer cells and leave natural cells alone, and it digests it like Pac-Man. And what really was really cool when I talked to Dr. Lynn, he said, it's amazing that this frankincense can identify a cancer cell, digest it, but leave a normal cell alone. That was very foreign for him to see that, because he was used to a drug just killing everything. And he actually shared with us that he was in a stage 5 study, meaning stage 5, meaning they have hours left to live. And so these stage 5 patients went under an experimental new drug. And so he asked if he could participate using frankincense with this other new stage 5 drug they were testing. And he had to make the painful decision to withdraw the study, because these people, because of the frankincense, were actually starting to heal. But the researcher was saying that it was this new experimental drug.
Christa,
and Dr. Lynn,
Paula is asking you to repeat.
Dr. Lynn
after
was
stage 5 cancer, something like that, right, Paula? Okay, after that, repeat.
So I'm sorry, Paula, you were waving at me, so I didn't even pay attention. So he had to make the painful choice to withdraw the frankincense from the study, because during the study, the new drug was administered with the frankincense. And Dr. Lynn had to pull the frankincense from the study because the people started to get better. But they were giving the credit to the new drug, not to frankincense. Okay. Okay, so where am I going from there? I went way off the track there. Fast forward, I don't know where I was going. I just went on this wade. And okay, so Dr. Lin, yes, is now working with Young Living. I don't know his title. I think he's in the researching department now with Young Living, which is a huge gift for Young Living. And here's the reality is that Young Living was a company for 10 years in a clinic that Gary ran. And then it started to become a MLM business. So when we talk about results, it was because there was 10 years of trial and error, studying the urine, studying the feces, studying the blood work, and the results of what the oils were doing, because there is nothing so tiny that can get inside the cell and help it work again. Because a working cell means that there's working red blood cells, there's working white blood cells, and there's a working immune system. And an immune system can cure anything. It's the only thing that cures us, because we all make cancer cells every day. All of us, 3,000 to 6,000 cancer cells every day, every one of us have in our bodies. But when our immune system is backed up, that's when it gets into the millions count before you can be diagnosed with cancer. So it will get into the millions by the time that you are technically conventionally diagnosed with cancer. Okay.
Christa, sorry to interrupt
Yes.
you.
No, you're not interrupting me.
I remember when I started using the oils and I thought a strong immune system meant not to get a cold. But it's so much more than that. It's exactly what you're saying. It's the ability of not developing cancer. So basically, we need to really think about that. It's not just a cold, it's.
Well, the cold is the body's ability of expelling and detoxing. That's why we have the seasonal cold. And cancer clients, my mom worked hospice. My mom was a chemotherapy nurse. When you have cancer, you no longer get the fever. Your body's immune system is no longer able to provide a fever, because what the fever does is that it's amazing. This is fantastic. This is why saunas work. This is why biomats work, because it heats the body up as if you were to have a fever, because your normal healthy cell can withstand the heat, but a cancer cell cannot. So when a person is overtaxed with a lot of cancer cells, they no longer get a fever and they get cold and they're freezing. Their feet are cold, their hands are cold, and they don't get fevers. So when we get fevers, be thankful. When we get colds, be thankful. When we get the flu, be thankful, because that's your body expelling things out of your body.
It's your body reacting, right?
It's your body reacting to too many toxins. So we take our cars in and change the filter every 3,000 miles. But when's the last time we've talked about kidney filter change or liver filter change or lymphatic support? Many, many people don't. And I'm telling you, there are two products, and I don't know if I should tell you this because I don't know if you can get it there, but Patricia, I don't know, have we talked about Rehimagen and KMB?
We can get it in Brazil yet, but I think it's good that people see the vision of our company,
Okay. So there's two products that I really believe are Gary's gold standard products, and they're tinctures, meaning they're based out of alcohol and they taste pretty yucky, but then they were out of stock for like 3 years and they just came back in stock. But one of them is called Rehimagen, and it is an amazing blood purifier. Because I remember Gary talking to us about when Americans would come to the Ecuador clinic and they would see plastic in their blood, they knew that USA citizen was in much trouble. Because you think about it, plastic in our water bottles, plastic in the microwave, plastic in the freezer, plastic in shipping, plastic in saran wrap, plastic styrofoam cups and coffee, and that is getting in our body. This is also why you should be taking about 10 drops of lemon, orange, grapefruit, tangerine every day, and not in a plastic cup, because that's going to help.
Christa, people are saying 10 drops because here again in Brazil, because we're starting from zero, and people come from the medication mentality. They think they need to take 30 drops of something a day. So we are always educating people on the value of 1 drop at a time, you know?
So that's a great point, Patricia, because 1 drop of peppermint is the same as 28 cups of peppermint tea. It's so concentrated. And the value of giving as many of the oils in your body and around your body is amazing. So fast forward just real quick, blink. And when fast forward you real quick, today I can travel, I can speak, I don't have joint aches, I don't have any symptoms of fibromyalgia, we don't have asthma, all of my children are not on medication, I am not on medication, and I have seen so much with the oils and what they've done. We've been in RV in the middle of nowhere. I have had an abscess, and I will use thieves, I will use longevity, I will use wintergreen and shift my body. And I have seen where my 2-year-old was bouncing on the trampoline, and I believe he had a broken bone, but by the time we got to the x-ray 2 weeks later, it was not broken. So I have seen a lot the oils have done, because I've been in places where I couldn't get to a hospital, couldn't get to a doctor. So having them on hand, especially in these days where you may not be able to get to a doctor, you may not have access to a doctor, or there might be an epidemic where they are forcing you to do things you don't want to do to your body that causes more trauma to your body. So having options while you wait for your appointment or while you can get to your doctor is very helpful. And that's really the point of the oils, is having the access to it at any time, especially during 2021 in America, where things are shut down. Gas was shut down in Texas. Propane was limited. Transportation has been limited, and we just never know what we're going to be facing. That makes sense. Any questions from there?
The oils give us autonomy, right? Is that a word, like over our health? We don't depend on going somewhere or seeing somebody. We can.
I just like to look at it as the oils give us options and hope. Because there is, and I love what Gary used to say, he said, there is no herb, flower, bark, or tree that can't handle something that the body goes through. We're all made from the dust, minerals, the periodic table, and the trees. I never see a tree. I don't look at a tree and go, man, I don't want to get up today. Life is just too hard. I don't see a flower go, I'm just depressed. I don't see an herb go, you know what? I just don't want to do life anymore. Or I don't see, they don't get the trees, the herbs, the flowers are the living essence, and a little bitty drop of a little bitty, tiny little concentrated, amazing power juice that we have access to, and to have it serve us. And the frequency comes on us, the element, I can't, and it's almost unbelievable, the statistics, but, and Patricia, you can correct me, but because I never memorized it, but like 1 drop of this on my body, it's like in 20 seconds, 20 minutes, it hits every single cell of my body.
Yes, in 20 minutes, it hits every single cell in your body, and it's already on its way out. So it doesn't.
Yeah, it's in your urine. I do know that lavender's in your urine in like 20 minutes. It's already in your urine. So just 1 drop
Can
touches
touch it.
every single cell of my body, the trillions of cells in our body. And that's, we're not even talking about our conscious and subconscious, which are subconscious. So if you were to look at to our brain like this, our brain right here, the conscious is only this top part right here, this part here. Okay. Like this right here. That's what you think, you see, you talk about. And underneath here, 90 to 95% down here, all of this is your subconscious. And it intakes like 2 billion data per second. Per second. This is what our brain is bringing in. Like right now, and I can prove this to you, but right now, I know everything in this room. I know every color. I know where everything is because my subconscious is inputting it in my brain in the subconscious arena. So when you put the oils on in your brain, it's literally rewiring things in this area. So what pushes up to the top of your brain, what you actually think, feel, and know. And this is why you do things you don't know why you do them. This is why because this is the programming part. So you think of yourself as a computer, it's the data brain part of the computer, and out comes, WordPress or what's another app, like what's another app we have, like Instagram. So Instagram is what we think about and what we know. So when we're putting the oils in, that's why I don't have to do the things that I did at the beginning to be healthy. I don't have to support my immune system like I did 10 years ago, because the oils have gone in and cleaned that cellular level in my subconscious and all into my body.
So you're saying the more we use, the cleaner we become, and the better the oils work, and the better our health is. We accumulate that.
It's totally accumulate. Yes, because, and I found that through my family. I used to carry a fanny pack, and when one of my children would sneeze or cough, I would use these, I would use Melrose, I would like, who coughed? And they'd be like, she did, because they knew I was coming with the oils, and I would use the oils right on that cough because I knew that was the body telling me that it needed support. Today, we hardly cough. My children don't even know what the flu is. My girls went to dance and they were all talking about the flu and this vomiting thing. And my 10-year-old and 11-year-old looks like, what's the flu? What is that? Because we use them in diffusing, we bathe in them, we put them in our hair, we put them, we take them in capsules, we use suppositories, we use nebulizers, we put them in our body and on all the time.
Every day, all the time.
Every day, all the time. And not even now, not even in an aggressive way. When I used to got started, I had to really like go after, because I was really, really sick. So I had to use for like 3 to 6 months. I had to really use a lot of oils to shift that sickness that I was struggling with to support my body again. But today, I just kind of like, oh, let's do a liver cleanse. Let's do a GLF cleanse. Let's, I need to add some more grapefruit to support my lymphatic system. So the other product was Rahimogen. The other one was K&B. And so let me tell you a story about Rahimogen. So we just got it in, and Marty, my 18-year-old, walks in and she's got her shoulders slumped. Her eyes are a little glassy and bloodshot. She's like, I just don't feel good, Mom. And I looked at the Rahimogen. I said, try the Rahimogen. She took it, 3 drops, and took a drink. And literally within 5 minutes, her face totally transformed. The redness went away. Her shoulders slumped up, and it was miraculous. I almost wish I took a reel of it, because the transformation is in front of your face. Amazing.
Did you say that?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I didn't expect it, actually. I didn't expect her to react that fast. I just thought, well, I think you need to cleanse your blood, because my kids are still going into EMF, 5G, radiation areas. There's still, I have an EMF reader, and I traded in my Toyota Highlander because I was picking up that the car was emitting 700 to 800 hertz of radiation out of the car. And I don't know if you know about Toyota, but it was driving by itself. It freaked me out. Like I put my hands up and it would do that. It would turn, it would do it. It freaked me out, but it has so much. The EMF reader, I don't know what the brand is. I don't think I have it up here, but I will test cars. I will test phones, microwaves. I just found it, and I have had it for a while when it was really not cool. Now it's kind of cool and you can buy them really cheap on Amazon, but I tested my cell phone. So I work really hard. I buy cases that I test and make sure. This is called Defender Shield. And I put my phone in it and it's sealed and covered, and I test it. So the normal hertz is like 30 and the car was emitting 800.
Holy moly.
Yes. So my Mercedes van emits 800, and my girls complain about driving it. They get exhausted, they get headaches, they get drained, and they subconsciously don't want to drive it, and they don't know why. And I told them, well, it's because it's radiation. And I show it to them, and they're like, oh my gosh.
Christa, real quick, this is so interesting. What are the things that you do in your house to protect from EMF? Just a few things. Cell phone.
Well, first of all, this is what I have found. There is a paint you can paint your house with to block EMF.
Oh.
Okay. I bought a house that the meter is not on my house. It's actually away from my house. So that was the second thing I looked for. I also buy a house and I check where the towers are. Where are the towers? And I buy a house, or I live in a house. So I've seen apartments where I'll see on the wall, there'll be like 20 meters on a wall. And I am mortified to think, who is sleeping on that other side of that wall? Are they sleeping? They're getting radiated through the entire night. We turn our Wi-Fi off. It's on a, you can buy a plug-in, you can set the meter. Well, it sets it where it turns it off through the night. I put my phone in my closet or a Faraday bag. Let's see what else we do. I have bought some grounding plugs. I actually found it in Fredericksburg. I've tried a couple of them, and he sells bracelets. And so I have this copper bracelet. He sells rings, he sells bracelets, and he sells something that plugs into your house that will pull down the Wi-Fi. Going outside, walking barefoot, talking to animals, talking to trees, smelling flowers is huge. Putting your feet in water, in natural water, is huge. That's why yogis do this. This is why there's a push to do this, because they are regrounding themselves, because we are meant to be grounded to the earth. We are meant to be connected to Mother Earth. And when we don't, that's how I believe personally, seizures happen, anxiety happens, because we're chaos. We're being bombarded. So not only are you getting Wi-Fi from your phone, but you're getting Wi-Fi from their phone and their phone and their phone. So you're getting, all of this bombardment, and we're wondering why we can't sleep. We're wondering why we can't heal. And we wonder why our children are anxiety. Okay, ready? This is a bomb. I just found this out. I was like, oh my God. So this is a 2017 study. 2017. Children 0 to 2, their anxiety drug prescription has increased 300%. These are opioid addicted drugs that they're giving 2-year-olds, and it has increased 300%. That was in 2017.
Can you imagine now with the pandemic what that number is? Because everybody.
The number now is, they diagnose boys with ADHD and they diagnose girls with anxiety, and they put them on drugs, opiates, knowing that when they become our age, they're going to be addicted to those drugs for life. It's big money. Big money. And people ask me,
wake up.
Well, and people ask me, is it okay to put lavender on my body or my child? And I'm just like,
seriously.
It's just incredible. Like, are you even asking are you even aware? Are you home? And they're not. because they're stressed. They have anxiety. They're chaotic. They're being bombarded. And we are antennas. We are polarity. We have a plus and a minus. That's why we have to be grounded. That's why the phones are so manipulative effective. They've proven this. That's why Tesla did his stuff. There's just so much. And the quantum, you've heard of quantum healing. The oils are quantum healers. If they think of you a conspiracy theory, then ask them and prove me wrong. I've never met anyone that's gone into conventional medicine. I used to work it. My dad does anesthesia. My mom's a nurse. I worked OB and I worked family physician. I've never met anyone go into the system with an ailment, an issue, and come out better. Not one. They don't get healed. Show me one. Show me one.
Because they're not looking at healing, they're looking at the side effects, and then you get one medication and then you get something else off track. And
so you're not looking for, so I had someone call me last night and they said, we need help. And I said, okay, tell me what's going on. So, well, my dad has cancer and he's gotten really bad. He's losing weight and he decided to go to chemotherapy. And I said, okay, well, when he's done with chemotherapy, you can call me. I might be able to help you. I said, but I really don't help people who are very convinced that they need conventional. I help people who are convinced they know that conventional cannot help them. I help people who are hungry and desperate, trying to find an alternative, trying to get their bodies to work, trying to think again, where they don't want to pay for a prescription. Those people are really not my market, and that may not be who you want to do or what you want to do. But I told him, I said, the only thing I can offer is that a peppermint will help him while he's nauseated. But the chemotherapy is a nuclear bomb to the body. It kills absolutely everything. Everything. So putting something good in your body is a waste of money. So I don't want to waste his money. I don't want to waste his time. Sorry, I had a call come in. And so I said, call me when you're done, and I'll see where you're at. And sadly, people they can do whatever they want. Maybe that's what he really believes in. Maybe that's what they really want. And that's not my choice to tell him yes or no, it's wrong or right. My job, what I have chosen to do, what I will do, is I will help those who are looking for alternatives. That's really is. Now you can go and say, I don't want to do what Chris is doing. And you can say, I just want to make the world smell good. And you can go and show everybody about Christmas spirit and diffusers. And that's a great mission. I want to make people happier. So you're going to put joy and spray joy on everybody and make them happier right where they're at, and not really get into that. But I was sick. I was dying. So this was my journey. Doesn't necessarily have to be yours. Does it make sense?
yes.
So everybody has their journey. And that's the point. That's how I grew this business. Was I added Young Living to my life, to my lifestyle, with the many children, the hours in the day that I had, and I let it be a part of me, but it wasn't my main thing. I refused to make Young Living the main thing. And so when they called me and said, you're really close to the first level of leadership, and I said, I don't care. They said, well, it's a difference of $800 a month for you. And I said, okay, what do I do? Because that spoke my language, because I needed enough money to place another order. And my goal was to get 3 orders a month. 100% of my income from Young Living, all of it, until I was a gold, went right back into ordering products. That was the whole point of my heart, was getting all those products from my growing family in as much as fast as possible. And that was my goal. So I did not have any money from Young Living over and above until I became a gold. And then I was like, oh, I get to do 4 orders. So I was doing 4 orders a month at that time for my larger family.
Christa, can you give them a timeline of like when you joined, when you became a silver, because silver was a big turning point for you because you were a consumer and then you became a business builder at silver. And then when you became a Royal Crown Diamond.
Okay, so I went from silver to a Royal Crown Diamond in 2 years, working once a month. It took me 2 years, if I remember right, to get to silver because I wasn't working it. And that's when I accidentally became silver. And then so what happened is I won the trip and I got to go to the farm and I met Mary and I met Gary and I saw firsthand how this was not a normal company MLM. It was a family business. And when you join Young Living, you're joining a family and you're joining a movement. You are joining people who have all been in a place where they've been really broken, hurting emotionally, hurting physically, hurting in all kinds of ways. And they've tried everything. And nobody wants to wake up in the morning and say, hey, I think essential oils are for me. And they're going to help me with my depression. And they're going to help me get out of my anxiety. And they're going to help me from being suicidal. They're going to help me from getting out of bed. Nobody thinks that way. Nobody. But when you go to convention, it's the most amazing thing. Because I taught all my team when I go there, I said, please just go ask 3 people, just pick them, random people, what brings you here? And you will get so many amazing stories. You'll get overwhelmed from, I couldn't have babies, now I'm pregnant. I had prostate cancer and now I don't. I have uterine cancer and I want to have more babies and I can't. And now I have 3 more babies. Story after story after story.
I love what you're saying because when you are in a new market, sometimes people think about like the bumps on the road, all the website this, or my order is late. And I try to say, people, this is so much bigger than your order being late. Who cares? It's gonna come to you. Don't worry. It will show up at your door. Don't make that the problem. When you have kind of purpose, this kind of products, this kind of family, this kind of background.
Well, and if anybody wants to, it's so funny because people are worried about being conspiracy theorists, and it's like people are dying right in front of your face. If our children are being given anxiety pills, there will be no future. There's not going to be a future. The infertility rate is off the charts.
Yeah.
These children are going to be zombies, brain swiped. It is not an MLM. It's a calling. It's a mission. And when you have that heart, ranks and monies, it's not even a deal. It's just a nice blessing. But my story, you can share. So the 2 skills, and I'm going to tell you the 2 skills, and then I'm going to let you go because I've given you a ton to think about. Thank you, Sula. The 2 skills that I mastered was telling stories. And people are like, telling stories, but there is a skill, and edifying. And those were the 2 skills. I lost Paula. Where'd she go? I'm making sure I'm still going slow. Where are you, Paula?
You come back for the two skills. She wants you to repeat the 2 skills.
The 2 there she is. Okay. You keep moving around, Paula. Would you stop it? Hey, Raquel, how are you? I see your pretty smile. The 2 skills were telling stories and edifying. And the problem I see with new people, new markets, is they make it all wrong. They get it all wrong. And they think it's about the compensation plan. They think it's about the rank. They think it's about scientific study. They think it's about all these other things. It's really simple. You just tell my story a little bit, pick one. And people are going to get curious. Just like the lady called me and I had a conversation with her. We were talking about something completely different. And out of the blue, I don't even know how she asked me, or I wasn't like thinking I'm going to sign her up at all. Cause I literally I kind of just pray mostly, like, send me people who are hungry, send me people who are wanted. So I never want to force it on people because I don't want to have that type of team where I'm shoving oils down their face and I'm calling them saying, did you order? Did you open the bottle? Did you use the oils? I want people who are self-sustaining leaders who are going to pick up their mat and walk. And so anyway, so she asked me, so what do you do again? And I was like, well, I actually teach health classes. And she says, you do oils, right? I heard you say something about oils. I said, yeah, I actually do. She says, well, I have a couple oils. I have a doTERRA and I have a couple others. Oh, that's great. I said, doTERRA's pretty good. I said, but they came out of Young Living. She said, no, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, doTERRA worked for Young Living. And when Gary was establishing the clinic in Ecuador, they decided that they would launch their own business because they thought they could do it better. I said, but I still know that they're not better than Young Living because they don't own their own farms. Because I did research and I found that there were only 5 distilleries in the United States. So every oil that you can buy in the United States come from those 5 distilleries. Gary didn't say, hey, I need a company and I need a distillery. He didn't say that. He was forced into it because he went to distilleries and he said, I need to distill cypress at 24 hours. And they said, nope, we're not going to do it. He's like, why not? He said, we still it for 3 hours and then we turn it off because that's when you can smell it. But at 3 hours, that cypress have 0 compounds in it. 0, scientifically proven, 0. But at 24 hours, it has 280 compounds in it. So Gary's like, okay, I'm going to have to go make my own distillery. So he started with his own distillery. Then it turned into buying the own land. So not only do we have botanists who test the hydration, the soil capacity, the chemical capacity in the field, we are mastering recycling. We are mastering minerals for that plant. We actually put PVC pipe underneath the plant to put frequency in the ground, because when us go to the farms, we can be negative and our lower frequency can affect the plants. So Gary found a way to put frequency back in the ground after our visits because he would have the members come to the farms. So where I was going with that. So we own the own lands, and that's why I knew doTERRA, and plus I knew Dr. Lynn. So I just kind of mentioned a few of those stats. She's like, oh, wow. I said, and so she's like, well, what do you do for whatever? And I was like, well, this is what I do. I said, but if you're going to use another company, and that's why they have those pregnancy distilling rates, because I tell people, if you're going to use Walmart oils or Whole Foods oils or Amazon oils, please use that distilling proration ratio that they tell you, because there are chemicals in there. And so, but if you're using Young Living, I personally know firsthand that when you're a member, you have the option of going to Ecuador, which I think, Patricia, you're going, right?
No, going to St. Mary's, Idaho.
Okay. So when you go to Ecuador, which I've been 3 times, you can have a frankincense IV. I've had a frankincense IV, a Thies IV, a brain power IV, and a helichrysum IV. And Gary knows this because he gives it to himself and to his family. And that's why our oils go through 13 different tests 3 times for each barrel. And Young Living has been told, you do too much testing. Most companies just test 1 batch of the entire field. And once it passes, they'll say, yes, we test that 1 batch, but not the whole barrels. And they only run 1 test. And they only do about probably 3 to 5 tests. We do 13 different tests, 3 different times in each barrel of oil from the field, from that same harvest.
Christa,
So
you had the IV when you were pregnant, right?
Yes, I did.
What oil was it?
I did a week of frankincense every day down there, and I did vitamin C and minerals. But for a week, I was pregnant, 6 months pregnant with my 15th. And that was amazing. And I delivered her by myself. And by the time she was 1, she said the word seriously, which is a 4-syllable word, appropriately. So that was pretty cool. But the 2 skills are telling stories, and there is a skill to it, and edification or encouragement. And a story sounds like this, and we mess stories up because we feel like this person needs to know about what color shirt you were wearing, or where you were standing, or who you were with, and they don't care. They don't even care what you're talking about. So a bad story would sound like this. Yeah, I had my 2-year-old and she was so cute. And I had my sister and she was hanging out with me, and I looked up and she just started to breathe really funny. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to take her to the emergency room, because wonder what they're going to do there. I think they're going to have certain, they'll have some steroids and inhalers. But then she kind of just scratched her head and she looked at me and she said she was fine. But then she turned around and I turned around, and then next thing I know, she was breathing on all 4 of her legs. She was on her hands and knees and unable to breathe. And then I talked to my sister and I said, you know what, maybe we should text Jason. And then she said, no, we should just go ahead and try the oils while we wait to go to the hospital. I'm thinking, no, let's just wait again. That's a bad story. You're like going blah, 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 right? A good story is literally 2 to 3 sentences. It says what you were before you got started and what you were after. It's usually in 3 of them. Okay. And so a good story is that before getting started, I had a 2-year-old that would be on all 4 of her feet and her knees, unable to move and breathe. And before I took her to the doctor, I tried a recipe that's in the book. I gave it to her, and she instantly transformed before my eyes. And so I don't know if you know anyone who has a breathing issue and they'd be willing to try something different. Let me know. That's a very good story. Now, I don't know if it's stuck to your heart, so I'm kind of on the spot, but raise your hand if you'd be like, yeah, I want to know more. Would you be like, hey, tell me more about that? Yeah. See, because I created curiosity. I didn't tell you what I did. I didn't tell you what products I'm using. I didn't tell you the name of anything. I just created a before and after story that created curiosity for you and I to start to learn to talk to each other. Okay. And then edification sounds like this. So here's this meeting tonight. So in edification, you could call your mom, you could call your friends, like, Mom, I need you to get on this call tonight. And she's going to say, well, what is it, honey? And you're going to say, I don't know, Mom, but all I know is that this mom of 15 is going to be sharing her secret tips and her success stories. And she's made it to the top of her company working once a month. I just need you to hear it, because I don't know if I'm going to believe everything I'm going to hear. And I need someone to bounce it off with after the call. Would your mom join the call if you asked her for that?
Sure.
Would your sister? Would your best friend? And that's all I did. And it can also sound like that. Say, if I'm not here, so your mom's here, hey, Mom, you could say, oh my gosh, Patricia's leading this call tonight. And, I don't know if you know her, but she's traveled back and forth from Brazil. She's interconnected on a global way with the top of the company. She knows firsthand, and she knows personally many, many leaders. She's going to be sharing tonight. I really want you to hear from her, because her expertise, her stories, and her skills are above anybody I've ever met before. And I need someone to make sure I hear it correctly and make sure I'm in the right place. And I trust you, and you'll give me your solid yes, thumbs up, or you go, no, you need to get out of there. It's stupid. It's a cult. It's a conspiracy theorist. I really need your support. Will you help me? How many of your friends would say, yes, I'll join the call?
It's just how we say it. And
it's so how you say it. And there's there's the banned words. You don't say Young Living. You don't say Gary. You don't say Mary. You don't say even Patricia's name. You don't say Christa's name. They don't care. They don't care if it's a lavender or Frank. They don't care if it's a peppermint. They don't care. They only care about 2 things. Does it work? And will it work for me?
Will it work for me? Yeah.
That's it. Because they are Christa on the other end saying, I have tried that, I have tried that, and I tried that, and I am dying, and I am so desperate. I'm giving my 2-year-old anxiety pills that are addictive. I am going to kill and leave my husband. I need help. I'm in hurting. Right? That's the people you're talking, they're brain fogged. They are on coffee, which is a stressed out. Coffee is proven to be, that's why it's on every corner. It is proven. So if you're on coffee, you need to work on getting yourself off of the stress marathon, the stress road. You need to shift it. You need to work on your body. As you're working on yourself, you're going to bring friends along with you that are going to learn this with you. They're going to help you. They're going to help you be accountable. Did you drink your coffee today? No, I drank my nitro, and I did a bunch of orange, and it's helping me shift my body. Start diluting your coffee. Start diluting your Pepsi. Pepsi and Coke are used to clean toilets. Look it up. Put a tooth in a Coke. It will dissolve it. It's not for you. It's to kill you. Coffee puts you in fight or flight. You know what stress mode is? Stress mode makes you go into fight or flight. How many have been in a fight lately? Like fighting with your husband, yelling at your kids. Yeah, that's fight mode. That's stress mode. That means you're not sleeping. That means you're not losing weight. That means you're not digesting. That means you're going to start getting dizzy. That means your liver and your kidneys are all going, hey, you got to get out of the stress mode. You got to go chill, chica. We got to go chill. So when you're in stress mode, you're going to yell because your blood, it's proven scientifically, your blood goes to it leaves your brain and it goes into your hands and your feet. You know why it goes into your hands and feet? Because the stress makes you want to fight, and you can't fight if you don't have blood flying through your hands, right? And you can't fight, meaning you can't run if you don't have blood in your hands and your feet. It's a trigger. It's like a light switch. Coffee throws you into stress mode. Like a light switch. The moment you drink it, light switch, you're in stress mode. It's automatic. Not one of us is exempt. Not one of us. So this is a journey. This is, let's see. As a police officer, Eduardo, I would totally use Aroma Life and Valor. I would also use Brain Power. And if you deal with people who are energetically gross, energetically vile, White Angelica is really helpful. It helps you put on like an invisible shield in the quantum realm for you not to pick up their demons. A lot of us pick up demons from other people, darkness. We pick up, I'm trying to read your notes. What do you mean writing this to say again? Good English, by the way. Yes, Genius is good. Thank you, Susanna. So I don't know if you have White Angelica, but any oils would be huge. White Angelic, you don't, okay. So, do you have Aroma Life? You have Clarity. Clarity's good.
I believe.
Believe is good. Believe, no Aroma Life. Okay. So you have Valor. Valor is going to be your best in Clarity. Clarity is going to make you think, and it's going to give you like that intuitive sense. Like you're going to go, I think I need to turn right here. And boom, there's a bad guy, right? Or it's going to just give you some, and Valor is going to give you the courage to really, the best way I use Clarity is I take it and I put it on my thumb and it goes right into my brain. Right into my brain. Valor, you can actually put under your tongue. Like that.
See, people, don't be afraid of the oils.
This was free this month and it's Kid Power. The oils I drink and take every one of them. And I'm a firm believer because I learned that as a nurse and in the medical world, I learned that when you do a suppository, go look up colonics. When in the 1940s, when you would go to the hospital, they wouldn't give you an IV. In the 20s and 40s, they would give you a colonic. A colonic's job, your colon's job, is to absorb water. They removed all of that supplies when IVs came around. IVs are new. That going into your veins is not a normal thing, but colonics is designed to absorb water. And when you absorb in your colon, it goes straight to your lungs and straight to your liver. Straight to your lungs, straight to your liver. When you go as a suppository. Because when my 2-year-old, when she was vomiting, they would say, give her a Tylenol. And I was like, how am I supposed to give her Tylenol? She's vomiting. And they would say, well, we have suppositories. So I learned to do that easy. I want to get that, any guidance and helpful. What do you mean? I do coffee enemas. I actually just stopped the Gerson. It's called Gerson therapy, Gerson. Gerson therapy is a known cancer cure or supportive. And thank you, Susanna. But yeah, coffee, organic coffee is a colonic, is super, super helpful. I actually did it straight every day for 2 years, and I was doing it day and night. So that's a great way to get off coffee as well. So if you're drinking coffee, go to coffee enemas, and it still gives you quite a little bit of a caffeine. So then you can start to dilute it, and it's actually way better for you. And you know how that even came about? In World War I or II, they ran out of water and IV for the men dying. So all they had was coffee. So they took the coffee and put it as a suppository for these dying military men. And they found that they healed way faster than the other men that were just getting regular IVs, because the coffee triggers your liver to dump. So your liver's your filter, and the coffee triggers the liver to dump. And that's why it really, really works. And it's really, really powerful. I have added oils to my coffee enema. I add omega. I've added MindWise. I am so creative, because it's like, I want to put as many herbs, flowers, trees that are proven completely safe in and all around my body as much as possible. And when you're as sick as I was, enemas was the key for me. And especially for a vomiting baby, a vomiting child, because they can get dehydrated. And as a nurse, when they would get dehydrated, we would put water in their colon to stimulate a bowel if they're constipated, but also to, because if they're vomiting, they can't take anything in. So I guess upasa, is that what it is for enema? Uposo?
Suppositories. I just said.
No, I'm just reading it.
Christa, Paula has to leave, so Camila's taking over the translation. Is Camila set up there?
Oh, I suppose so. Sue can. Sue.
Oh, Susanna's going to translate? I thought Camila was.
Yeah, that's what she said.
No, she said Camila can do it.
Camila.
Somebody jump in there.
You're welcome, Eduardo. Did I say that right? Eduardo.
You said it right.
Thank you for. I just want to tell him he's a police. He says he's a police officer. So thank you for serving the community and the people and making people safe. It's huge. And but Val, okay, so is he still on here? Is he still here?
Is Camila there already on the? No, Camila's not set up. Hey, Fabi, do you know how to? I think Fabiana knows how to set up. Yeah, Fabiana is setting up the translation for Camila. Is Eduardo still here? Hey, Eduardo, do you want to ask your question while we are working on this? Interpretation's disabled. I have so Valor was known by the Romans. They carried valor with them while they were the conquering, because it gives them amazing courage and strength. So I wanted to share that with him. Eduardo left. So somebody needs to share that with him. But Patricia, we should go. It's been long enough. We need to just close it down. I've given you tons to think about. we crave you so much. We could stay here forever, but I understand there's a lot of information here. And
There is.
wonderful information, Christa, because we're forming this mentality, you know, and we need to bring this to Brazil. You know, people are so afraid there of everything, pregnancy, babies, dilution, one drop, you know, and here you are improving your health 12 years after you started. You look better than ever, younger than ever, healthier than ever. And that's because
you should see some of my pictures before and now. And it's really miraculous. I didn't expect that to be a part of the journey either. So you're right. I actually do look and feel my hair is longer than ever. Look at this. My hair's never been this long, ever. It would never grow.
People
my hair
ask
didn't grow.
Your skincare routine. Do you have a secret to share?
You know what? I don't wash my hair and I don't wash my face. I actually just push bloom on my face and I just wash it off. Just the bloom spray. So I don't believe in, so I started thinking about, you know, just 100 years ago and all these regimes that we have for skincare and hair care. And so I quit washing my hair. I only wash it about twice a month. Yeah.
Wow.
And look, it's longer than it's ever been. This is my hair, and I'm going to be turning 50 this year. Look at this.
Wow.
I'm going to take my hair clip off because it's so big. I can't keep it all down. Look at this. This is my hair. And I wash it about twice a month. So what I do is I'll get like a dropper full and I'll put any of the free oils in a dropper and I will put it on my head and go to bed at night. And I think that's why it's growing like it is. But it's really quite messy. It's quite difficult to kind of put, because it's so much hair. And my kids know me by the big hair lady. Like that's how they know me. So I'm putting my hair clip back in. But yeah, I wash my hair just twice a month, if that. Like I really don't wash my hair. But the new shampoo that Young Living has come out with, and I only wash it with conditioner. I don't wash my hair with shampoo because I believe it strips your head. It strips it. It puts chemicals on it and it strips it with all the natural oils. So I try to keep all the natural oils that I have personally on my head as possible without stripping it, without the shampoo. So I just use conditioner, and that's just to get the tangles out.
My hair is super oily. I couldn't do that. Mine was.
You don't give me excuses, Patricia. Try it. Trust me. My hair was so oily, and everybody told me to use a special shampoo that was for oily hair. And I started to think about it, and my brain thinks scientifically. So I started to think, okay, so why would my human body, who is miraculously can do all kinds of things, like my body's processing 2 billion data points per data, like it's breathing, it's exchanging oxygen, it's having a cycle or not, it's digesting, it's producing hormones, it's creating enzymes, it's telling my eyeballs what to do, it's telling my ears to hear, like all of this. And so why would this machine produce oils on my head, right? So I started to think, wait a minute, what if my head is producing oils because I'm stripping my head? So I decided to stop stripping my head. I used a bottle of Thieves to reset my head. And I put a whole bottle of Thieves on my head. I used to have dandruff. I used to have oily hair. Put a whole bottle on my head. All dandruff stopped and the oily stopped. And then I just stopped doing shampoo. And I started only doing conditioner.
So the resetting was the bottle of Thieves, and okay, guys, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, try it, because my hair wouldn't grow. My hair would stay right here and it would just not grow past it. And now my hair's growing.
And for your face, do you use any oils that you love for your face? Frankincense?
Okay, so I do research on nanobot technology, which is out there. You can Google it. And so if you add grapefruit to a lotion, now I like to alternate. So because I believe that my body is like, if I have a buffet and I throw an orange at my digestive system every single day, my body's going to go, okay, enough with the orange, please. Can we please eat an apple? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to diversify my face. So I love taking Bloom. I spray it on my face. You have Bloom there? I think
No.
you do, don't you? Okay.
We have the collagen Bloom. Maybe we can try that.
Right. Which we don't, which I would love to try. But what skincare do you have? The art system?
Nothing. We have oils.
I wonder, okay, so I wonder if you took your collagen, made it like a paste cleaner, put it on your face, and reboot your face with collagen topically with rose water, like Camilla's saying. So this was me and I had only collagen, witch hazel, rose oil, I would take the rose water, mix it with the collagen, and make a small thin paste, spray it on my face, let it sit for a minute, and then wipe it clean if you wanted to, and then grab your favorite lotion, your favorite frankincense, myrrh. Mary uses myrrh every day. She uses myrrh every night. So you could use frankincense on your face, and then just you add your favorite pure lotion as possible that you can find. I actually have a goat lotion that I get from a local farmer that I really love using. So besides the Young Living products, and I that stuff lasts me like a year. Like I buy the skincare and it lasts me a year because I just alternate it and stuff like that.
Amazing.
So
yeah, I love how we can repurpose our products. People don't know that also in Brazil yet because we don't have many things, but we're always repurposing.
What if you did collagen hairspray? Like really putting the collagen.
Our collagen with yogurt once to do a mask, a face mask, because I thought I would be blue. It didn't turn blue, but it was pretty good.
That would be amazing. Or putting the collagen, because I know like people who put probiotics in their lotion.
Yes.
And they put all the things, but so collagen on your face and your hair would be so amazing. Mm-hmm. Because we got the turmeric. And that stuff was magical. Like I would put it in a glass of water and it would dissolve without, like it just dissolved, and I didn't even stir it or anything. And I'm so used to like shaking it and stirring. It did not need it. It totally absorbed right into the water. So yeah. I don't know if the collagen is like that, but man, the turmeric was so yummy. It tasted like mango. It's so yummy. And they're only limiting 1 per account right now, but
it's so good.
Macy, would you text Holly and tell her she can come up here? Tell her I'm up here. I have my neighbor wanting to come up to the house that we have what I'm at anyway. So, but yeah, I don't wash my hair. And if I do, I only use conditioner unless I've been in the chicken boon. And even then I rarely do unless I just feel like I need to do a reset. And so if that happens, it's probably once every 3 to 4 months that I wash my hair with shampoo.
Wow.
And my hair's gotten curlier. I actually just trimmed my bangs, but I mean, look, it's just amazing. But my hair was way greasy. It was greasy. I'd had to wash it. I had to wash my hair every single day because of grease every day. So you can get really creative with these oils and these products. But using your nose swipe, putting grapefruit on your face at night, just shifting it up, whatever you have. Like I'm always a firm believer with whatever oils you have, use them. That's why when people say, can I buy something off of you? I would sell it to them and I would turn around and need it like the next day. So Jason said, do not sell anything. We're not equipped to sell the oils. And that's what sets us apart. I'm not selling the oils. I use the oils. I can help you get your own account and your own direct account, but I use the oils in my family. And that's what sets us apart. I have no stash for you and your family. I don't. You need to get your own stash. And that's also another great way on how you can separate people who you will work with and who you won't. Like the guy who called me said, you know what? I'm just not your person. I can't help you. And I'm not going to work with them. I'm not going to sell them anything. I'm wasting his time and mine. And I told him, I was like, look, I really work with people who are not wanting to do conventional things. I'm looking for people and this is how I would deal with people who actually, the lady who I signed up with, I can call her and say, who else do you know who is looking for alternatives? who is stuck and desperate. And that's how I grew my entire business. I never left the state. I didn't travel. It was before Zooms. It was before Facebook. It was word to word mouth. And we have gotten up to 70,000 people on my team from this little person who started to open her mouth in the back seat of her home. That's the power of an MLM. That's the power.
Yeah. The
Selling
scale,
$20
right?
oils. Yep.
Skills.
And here's the third trick I will tell you. This is huge. So what I did at the beginning, I would say, I called my mom and my sister before they got started. And I said, okay, so I would call them and I would say, Valerie, can you order a peppermint? And she's like, well, what do I need a peppermint for? And I said, well, I use it for around my ears. It cools me down. I actually use it for the kids to cool them down for when they have fevers. I use it for a misting spray. I use it for the bugs in the garden. I use it for digestive. It also accentuates my frankincense. So I'll add just 1 drop of frankincense or 1 drop to my frankincense, and I help use it and it makes it spread farther. I love putting it on the top of my head. It actually opens up my brain. It feels like, so, okay, yeah, how much is it? I was like, well, it's $20. I'll give you my discount, but I need to order. I need about $50 more because I'm trying to get the free stuff. She's like, well, okay, well, go ahead and add a lavender on there. So that's when I first started. I called my mom and my sister. And I said, what do you want to order? I would add their order to my order. They would pay me. I would send it. And when it would get back, I would say, they would come over and I'm like, okay, here's your oils. And I was like, and look at this. Look what I just got. I got all this for free. And they would go, as a smart mom, smart sister, smart mother, they would go, how'd you get free? I want that. Well, how did you get that? I said, no, you don't want it. And they'd be like, no, I want that free. I was like, I know, this is so cool. Look at cedarwood. And I tell them how I use cedarwood. Then it says helichrysum. And oh my gosh, the helichrysum story is so big. You have no idea what helichrysum can do. And they're like, I want free. And I'm like, no, you don't need it free. You don't need to have your own account. I need you to order on my account so I can get the free stuff next month. And they'd be like, no, I want my free. It's like, no, you can't. I seriously would tell people to not get their own account because I was using their money, their order, so I could get their free stuff.
Yeah.
That's how I started. Very, very, very easy. And I would show them, I would have all the free stuff out. I'm like, look at all this free stuff. I'm like, dude, I want to get free. I was like, okay, fine. Here's your coupon code. You're going to have to use this coupon code to get your discount. So you're going to want to make sure you get a discount. Here's your coupon code. You have to have it. I did it over and over, and that's all I did. It's so, so simple. It's not on Instagram. It's not on Facebook. It's in your backyard. It's who you know right now today. Who do you know? Hey, Patricia, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. So yeah, oh my gosh, I had this incident. This rock fell on my son's toe, and my neighbor, who's a nurse, she came over. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to get stitches. And she's like, okay. So she's like, you want to get the stitches? And I was like, yeah, go get it. But before she came over, I grabbed my lavender frankincense because I got it free, and I put it on there on the foot on the frankincense and lavender. By the time she came to my house, she came to the door and she looked at the foot and she's like, this doesn't need stitches. And I was like, are you sure? She goes, no, it doesn't need stitches. So what'd you do? I said, I don't know. I just used this lavender and frankincense or lavender and peppermint on it. That's all I had. And she's like, wow, well, I need some of that. True story, by the way. That's a true story. And so Patricia, so Patricia, oh my gosh, I was so excited because she came over and I thought it was so funny. And the nurse laughed and we laughed and she came off. And so Patricia's like, I'm like, Patricia, you know what? I don't know. I know the oils are probably not for you. And you're probably so happy with your anxiety and you're so happy with your coffee and you're so happy with your yelling at your husband and screaming at your kids. I know you're so happy with that, but who do you know who's looking for good peppermint and a good frankincense? And I'm kidding there. I was kidding. Like, yeah. You don't want to really say that to people. You don't want to tell them that they're really happy in their anxiety. You don't really, but in the back of your head, you're like, okay, I know you're really happy in your anxiety. You're really, happy taking all those medications and having to. Now, I had a friend, her child was on so many medications for asthma, for breathing problems. She had to she was a mom. She's a mom of 6, 7. She had to set the timer for this one child to give him that medication at that time 2 hours later, give him that medication. And this was every day. And plus the inhalers, plus he did not play. He had no energy, and he had to carry his hands like this so he could breathe after all these medications. And you want to tell me that we're conspiracy theorists, right?
Mhm.
So all you have to do is say, Patricia, who do you know who's screaming at their husband? Because I'm really on a mission to help people, moms at home who are full of anxiety. I don't know if it's going to work for them like has me, but at least it's, who doesn't need a little bit of joy? I don't say joy, but I'm telling you, who doesn't need a little bit of joy? In the back of your head, you know that they're yelling at their husband. You know that they're screaming at their kids. You know they're hustling. You know they're in debt. You know they're stressed. You know they're going on vacation. And if they're not wanting to try anything alternative, then they're not your client. Goodbye.
Sometimes we want people that we love the most to go on board with us because we want to see true transformation, but they're not that kind of person. So I always say, don't waste your energy there. Maybe they'll come around when they're ready. It's not like they'll never come around, but it's not their time right now. So move on to who's ready, because there's so many people who are ready.
And I have to tell you, every single person I introduced the oils to, 100% joined Young Living.
I'm sorry, they're asking. I'm sorry.
One of them, it took 5 years, but 100% of everybody I introduced oils to, and they called me. They said Young Living was a cult. I had some friends that would send emails to my friends saying, don't join Young Living. They're not good, whatever. And I just went, okay. Does Camilla need to share? Is that what I'm seeing?
They're asking Eduardo to share something, but I think you already asked him. And Eduardo, go ahead, please ask your question, right? Can you answer, Christa, one question for?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry I had to step out earlier, but I'm back. A lot of knowledge.
Wow.
A lot of knowledge here. I'm loving it. I'm new to it. Me and my wife. My wife's been on there a little bit longer, but I'm relatively new. But just as of recent, I hurt my AC joint during training, and I bruised it really bad. I was just wondering, outside of deep relief, well, how much would deep relief help me, and what other things I can take to help naturally heal my body faster? Because they've been giving me a lot of these medicines, and for people that know me, I don't really take medicine to begin with, even before Young Living, and I've been catching myself having to use it for the bare necessity because of the pain.
And those drugs can definitely impair you and have side effects as well, which is pretty dangerous for your type of work you do. Do you have access to the raindrop oils? Do you know what that is?
No, I'm actually, I'm gonna look it up here. I'm on the computer. I can look it up as well.
Patricia, do you have raindrop oils there?
Yeah.
I'm here in New York City.
We don't. In Brazil we don't, but he's in the US. He's
okay. You need a raindrop on your shoulder. The raindrop is a series of 8 oils, and it's out of stock right now, but you can order each of those individually. There are 8 oils, and so you can order them, and you'll get 15 mils of them. And then we're out of wintergreen, but deep relief is the next best thing to wintergreen. So you're going to use those oils right on your shoulder in order. That's the only thing you need to worry about, is use them in order. You're going to start with Valor, oregano, and thyme, and basil. That's the first 4 right there. And it tells you on the little flyer. You can actually Google, YouTube it, and it'll show you how to do the whole process, but you don't need to worry about that because the oils work. So you do it right on your shoulder. And then you want to add a hot towel to it, and with peppermint, and add a hot towel to it, and you're going to be shocked. So my sister has a friend, her husband was a football player, bigger guy, and he had a little bit of a cyst in his wrist, and he was going to have surgery and have it removed. And we were testing things out, and I said, well, come over, let's just try. Let's try. So we did the raindrop, and we did 1 drop of those 8 oils. And for your shoulder, I would do about 2 to 3. Just put them wherever the pain is and get them really good in there, and do it. And you're going to do it 1 time. And then at the end of the day, you're going to do it another time, and you're going to feel the shift. Okay. If not, I will buy the oils from you. That's how confident I know. And by the way, in 12 years, I've never had anyone take me up on that offer. not one person.
I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. Danili is actually a close friend of mine and of my wife. I've seen it firsthand also with my nephew, especially Copaiba. Copaiba, however it's pronounced in English. He he used to be on the nebulizer once a week, if not more. And in the last
Do you
2
know the
years,
nebulizers? The nebulizer is a great way to use the oils. 1 drop of cedar wood for 30 minutes changes everything, especially for allergies.
1 drop of cedar wood.
Yeah,
Okay,
but you need to make sure that the nebulizer has those clear turquoise blue inserts. You want to get the dark blue. The dark blue won't melt and fall apart with the oils, but the dark blue is what you want. The turquoise, don't get the turquoise insert with the nebulizers. But if they're used to doing nebulizers, it's a fantastic way to help children, yourself. We actually had a pastor come over and we did the Bible oils, 1 drop of the Bible oils, and we just sat there and smelled each of the Bible oils right with the nebulizer. It was an amazing party. We had a great time. We were getting high on Bible oils. It was awesome.
Okay.
Which I don't know if you can get high, but it just goes into your brain. It's amazing. But let me tell you that your protocol. So do the raindrop on your shoulder, add a hot towel. And then if you can, order sulfurzyme and BLM. Sulfurzyme is a capsule. The last I saw that they were out of stock and they had the powder. You still can use the powder. And then BLM stands for bone, ligament, and muscle. And I had a fractured tibia and fibia off of my ankle. And I was pregnant. And so I went through this surgery where they put 7 screws and a plate on my foot without medication, pregnant. And this protocol, I did raindrop right inside my incision. And I did this protocol, sulfurzyme and BLM. And I got so cocky, I was on a walker and I got off of my walker and I ran out of BLM and I had to get back on the walker. This works. So sulfurzyme and BLM, you want to take 3 or 4 times a day. I would highly recommend you doing 4. And so what you're going to do is you're going to hit it really hard for 2 days. You're going to take 4 each, 4 times a day. In 2 days, you're going to feel a shift. So you go to 3 times a day. You're going to, in 2 days, you're going to feel a shift again. You're going to go to 2, each of them twice a day. You're going to pare it down. So if you re-injure it, you go back up, go up to 3, go up to 4. So you're going to kind of tailor up and down depending on your stress level and how you work it. Okay. That's never not worked, by the way.
I'm also doing physical therapy just because the job automatically sends you to physical therapy. So I did it on Monday the first time, and my shoulder was sore until earlier today, because it's obviously, as you know, in the medical field, in inflammation, you're working it out. It inflames a little bit, so the fluid comes back, and so does the pain. So does the stiffness, etc.
You're right. And you could pause that until you get access to these oils and then go back. But you may not even find yourself needing to go back. But there was a lady who had a frozen shoulder, could not raise her arm. And she did 1 raindrop and she could totally raise her arm full motion.
Wow. Okay. So do you have any idea when this, I see here the collection says coming back soon. Do you have an idea when it's coming back? A month, 2 months?
No, I don't, but you can order each oil separately.
Yeah, some of them that you mentioned. I have thyme here. I have, you said oregano, right? Oregano. I have that. I have peppermint.
Okay, so you could do a miniature raindrop right now. Get Valor, oregano, thyme, and basil.
Cypress.
Valor,
basil, cypress,
oregano, thyme, and basil.
Wintergreen.
There's no, if you have wintergreen, use it, but if you don't, use your deeper leaf. Majoram.
Or Penaway has wintergreen too.
Majoram, cypress, and aromaceas.
Eduardo, I have all the oils here, and I live 10 minutes away from Eduardo. I can give it to you.
I'll there send we go. Now I have a personal doctor on hand.
Yes, come here right now.
You're very fortunate to have Patricia. She's amazing.
They're all
really,
amazing.
really are.
This team is amazing. They've been helping my wife out a lot. Because I work a lot, I don't get to deal with it since I got injured. Been having a little bit more time, so I'm slowly diving in. Who knows? God willing, 5-10 years from now, I don't have to deal with the public anymore in that kind of sense.
Yeah, that would
You
be
know?
very nice for your family, I'm sure. And, but I can tell you just by wearing the oils like Believe or frankincense, I have people ask me all over the time, what are you wearing? That's amazing. And that Deep Relief, you could sell all day long.
Yes.
You could pretty much buy 10 of those
In-
and sell them retail to all the officers and to everybody. And when they're out, they're going to come and get some more.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's when you sign them up. You could sell it to them all day long. You cannot keep Deep Relief in stock.
And Deep Relief is in Brazil, Christa. It's one of the oils that just arrived in Brazil. People are just
That's an amazing way to tip top people into using the oils, because there's nothing like Deep Relief. It is fantastic for birthing. You put it on your back. If you have back pain, you put it on your back pain and then go take a bath. The water makes it work better. Like if you put Deep Relief on your shoulder and go take a bath, that water is going to make it minty. That's why if you ever get oils in your eyes or on your privates, or you got it on your hands and you put it on your baby's face and they're like, you don't grab water. You want to grab V6 or olive oil or coconut oil. And the coconut oil and the V6 will slow it down, because it's actually just a friction. It's not spicy. It's not hot. It's not burning. It's the friction of the oils going inside your body. And that's the minty feeling that you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the water, because the water separates from oil. So when you put water on, the oil it repels from the water and it goes inside your body. So it's a great way to push the oils in your body.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you for that clarity.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being on the call, and thank you for your service. It's an honor to have you on here. Really.
The honor is all mine. I do it for everybody.
No, it's a huge blessing. I think you have a huge market and you have no idea. You're going to change a lot of people's lives.
I'm trying to convince these men, but it's hard to convince men.
Okay, but you know what? I have a man tip for you. Let me tell you, it's really easy to convince men. It's so easy. My husband was very skeptical for about 1.5 years. He kept going, what's his oils? What's the oils? But I got one word for you. Actually, I've got two. And you're in America. You can get access to Goldenrod and Shutron. There's a reason why they call it Golden Rod.
Yeah. I got a Shutron. I don't have the Goldenrod yet.
It's a reason. The key to Shutron is actually Idaho blue spruce. So you can actually just give people a little bit of Rolly and put Goldenrod and Idaho blue spruce in there and pass it and just say, hey, dude, try this out. Because impotence is a big, big deal for men. And I'm telling you, that alone, men will be like, give me some more, dude. Give me some more. And then if you really want to go for it, you get Sensation, mix it up with some olive oil and give it to them and say, hey, put this on your wife before. Just massage her back, massage her belly. Don't touch anything. Just massage her and love on her. Give her about 20 minutes. And you're going to have that woman hopping all over you. You'll be like, dude, get this off her. Get it off of her. She's like, wearing me out. Yes, there's Goldenrod there. Danny and them got it. But there's a reason they call it Goldenrod.
I'm going to be putting some oil on you tonight, babe. Thank you very much.
Woohoo.
So
Guys,
funny.
we just want everybody to be happy, right? Happy with their husbands and wives, happy with their kids, happy with their friends, happy all around at work.
Sex makes us happy. I mean, everybody needs to feel loved. Everybody needs to feel welcomed and invited, and intimacy is a big deal. We call it fellowshipping, intimacy fellowshipping is what we call it. We try to make it a nice word, but so is there any other questions? And then we got to let you go, because I know I've taken up so much of everyone's time. I'm so grateful for everybody.
Nobody wants to go. Christa, we just need to do this a little more often than once a year, because so much to learn from you.
Yes. And I'm so grateful that you are willing to be here and spend time with me. And I am totally, let's do this next month if you want to. And I need to see people use their storytelling skills, and we can fine tune those, and their edification story. You've got it so easy. People just want to see what a mom of 15 looks like. They do. They just they don't believe you. A lot of people don't believe that there's a mom of 15 out there. You can just use that story and say, hey, I need you to come listen to this mom of 15. I think she's crazy. I need you to tell me if she's crazy.
Is she real? Is she for real?
Is she real? And I don't care if they think I'm crazy. I'm just going to treat them like a little child, like I do everybody else, like it's one of my kids. You know, you're going to be one of my kids that's going to be sassy and naughty. That's okay. I still love you.
And your kids are amazing, by the way. They're well
Thank you.
behaved. Oh my gosh, they're wonderful.
They're very much amazing. That's, you know, to be a Royal Crown Diamond is something, and to be a mom of 15 is something, but to have beautiful, happy children is just miraculous. It's just a gift. It's such an honor. They're very, very amazing kids.
And we can all achieve that.
Yes. So anybody else have any questions? And I'm gonna let you guys go because I know it's late there.
Any questions, anybody? Christa is opening the, any questions?
No one? Everybody's quiet? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I'll see. I just want to say thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you guys, Jesse and everyone. I've seen some familiar faces and I see some new ones too. Andrea, is it Andrea and Lavenda? Is that how you say it? Did I say it right?
Where?
Lavenda.
Oh, lavender. It's lavender and lemon in Portuguese.
Oh, that's Portuguese. Lavender and lemon. I love it. It's beautiful. So nice to have you. Okay, y'all, I'll let you go. And it's recorded, so please try to watch. I shared a lot. I shared a lot.
Let's take a picture, guys. Let's take a picture. Ooh. Hold on. Let me get a picture for me. Everybody smile big.
Eduard, he's asking about Instagram. My Instagram is a mess. I am like, it's so hard for me to have a good Instagram. I'm like, I wouldn't recommend following me on Instagram. It's just a mess. And I did have a Facebook group. It got deleted because I guess we were naughty. I actually wasn't naughty. Someone posted some naughty things on Facebook. So we lost that Facebook group. The Instagram is really, it's so distracting. Oh, so Camilla just started following me. Hi, Camilla. So I just got a notice on my phone. So I'm trying to be better on Instagram. But it's just a lot of time to make Instagram great and good and going. I'm just going to start trying.
Can we invite everybody to the Telegram? We can
Yes,
get the
ma'am.
link to invite. We need the
link.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get it right now. Let's see. Let's see. It's called Christa's Oil Group, and it's only got like 80 members in it. Let's see, add members, copy group, share link, copy link. Okay, let me come over here now and see if I can get this on here. Cool. Technology amazing. Here's another thing that I like to talk about just real quick, is that, you know, here we go. We have a phone that we're talking from all over the place. And here's the group to my Telegram chat. It's called Christa's and Oils. But here we have a phone that can track my breath, track my heartbeat and where I've been. I can be tracked by my family. I can FaceTime anyone, anywhere. I can multitask and go into another group, get the link and share it with you. But yet we go to medicine and they're still doing x-rays that they've been doing for over 100 years. And they're still doing MRIs that actually cause cancer. And they may have added lasers, but other than that, there's not been really an improvement in the conventional system. And the doctors know it. I've talked to them. They're leaving the medical system. The good doctors are leaving the system. And actually, here's something you can say, go look up pharmaceutical. The Greek word means pharmakia. And if you look up the Greek word meaning of pharmakia, it actually means poison. It actually means witchcraft. That's not conspiracy theorists, that's reality. So that's what you need to be teaching your people. They just don't know. If you want to, you don't have to. I like to teach people the truth though.
The ones who are ready.
The ones who are ready. Yep. It actually means witchcraft and poison. It was developed by the Rockefellers. Yep. So anyway, I will let you go on that. No, I should probably not like that. I was going to bless you in Yeshua's name, and we will see you all next month. Hopefully Patricia and I will connect again. Don't go, Donnie. I got to go practice my Zumba, whatever they call it.
Zumba.
Yeah, I've been practicing like that, right? So, yes, we'll connect
go
again.
to Brazil, huh?
I do. I want to go to Brazil. I've really been looking at it, to be honest, and staying there for about a month or 3. Actually, I've been really seriously looking at it. Yeah, I have a friend that's down there right now, and she was teaching me how to do it and how to get it there, and all the things that you have to do to get there. So, but I'm like, okay, well, it's like, anyway. So, and actually Jason's looking at getting his pilot license. So maybe we could just fly our own little plane and not have to be upon those planes that are going crazy. I don't know if you've seen some of those shots of people trying to open the doors in the middle of the air and stuff like that.
Vision that he had many years ago. And I think some of us were together when he thought about that, like getting a plane and flying to Brazil. Just remember, you're going to have to take a lot of ninja red, because we love ninja red and we don't have it in Brazil, and other things that people are dying to try.
Oh gosh, that would be so amazing to bring all the things. And actually, I was thinking about Eduardo. I hope I'm saying his name right, but we had a lot of military men take Reconnect kit or the Feelings kit, and the traumas that they have suffered through military were coming full front and getting some real healing, because PSTD is a real deal for a lot of our men. And we need our men energy to come and protect the women in the family. We need them to come online. We need them to have that male energy, because women are amazing. Women are amazing, but we have to have our men, and we have to have them come out full effect, ready to fight, ready to do what men are made to do, and women aren't to do. There's some strong women, and they can really fly in some male energies, but we just really need to have some strong male energies. Yeah, I had a hunch you did, Eduardo. I could tell for some reason. But the military, my brother was in the military, and he did not survive the military onslaught. And he was suicide, which actually statistically, men in the military have a higher chance of dying by suicide than they do by any other action. Is the number one suicide risk at all. People in the military. It's number one. Found that out like several years ago. And I've still given you a lot of information, but it's a big deal. And so the Reconnect kit, the Feelings kit, the Gary's protocol, those are all really, really powerful for people who are having some deep-seated traumas.
Christa, we're doing that as a team right now, actually, because some of the oils we have in Brazil, and we were able to change one of the oils for Believe. So we're doing the Gary's Grade A protocol as a team. And it's amazing. It's just amazing. And we're telling people to record their feelings and what they're going through in this 1 month of protocol. And maybe we could, next time when we meet with you, talk and dive in more about feelings and how the oils help that.
Well, many doctors believe that 99, if not 100% of all illnesses come from a feeling and from a trauma, usually from 0 to 7, from your parents not wanting you in the womb, from you getting beaten by as a 3-year-old, or being left behind, or your mom didn't come to get you for your birthday, all kinds of things that us as kids try to look at the big world and think, oh, I'm not wanted here, I'm rejected. And we carry that burden all the way into adulthood, saying that we're not accepted by our father and our other male energies, or mother hated me. And it's all a perspective that we had from some sort of trauma and a perspective of a 3-year-old. And
not even real. It's not even real, but it's what
it's not.
Cells.
It's not, and it hooks us and it holds us down, unfortunately. And until we can, and I believe that's part of our journey of being here as humans on this planet together, alive, is to conquer a lot of those traumas and to overcome them, transmute them, and make them use for our good, and go turn around and help a lot of other people. That's a true story, though. My dad did beat me when I was 3 years old. And it's actually he was in the military, and he had he was very, very poor, and he was stealing hamburger meat from McDonald's. And my mom was pregnant with my sister, and I had an older brother who was 4. And a female officer pulled him aside and said, "David, off the records, how's it going?" He's like, "Really, off the records?" And he's like, she goes, "Yeah." And he kind of confessed something to her. And so my dad had this, he had already gone to college, graduated, was a manager at McDonald's, and was stealing hamburger meat from McDonald's so we would eat. My mom ate peanut butter and jelly for 2 weeks while she was pregnant with me. And they both went to, he does anesthesia and she was in nursing school. And he had this plan to get to finish anesthesia school through the military. And so they opened the books and he went up for promotion, and they looked and said, "Oh, we can't promote you, David, because of this," and whatever he disclosed to the female officer. And he came home, was infuriated with females. And I was the first female he saw, and he just went in to beat me. And I screamed, "Daddy, please stop, please stop." And then afterwards, my mom wouldn't help me because she was pregnant, and she was 9 months pregnant. And she thought that he would start to hurt her. And then of course my brother couldn't help me. And so my mom hid, and my dad was hitting me. And I thought, I've really lost it with my kids, but I've never put them in a place where they are, as a 3-year-old, telling me to stop. So I can only imagine how intense. And I was actually soft-hearted. I was quiet. I was shy. And, but he ended up stopping, and he felt so terrible. He went and bought me a new dress. So part of my story is when I became a diamond, I actually spent a ton of money on clothes, and I didn't know why. And I found through healing that was what made me feel good. And because of a story that I had bought when I was 3. So I spent a ton of the money I made as a diamond buying clothes and clothes and clothes, because it gave me a little bit of a high and it made me feel good. And it all went to this 3-year-old trauma moment. And this little 3-year-old girl told herself that the world is not safe, that the father figure is not safe, the mother figure is not going to come and help her, the brother and sister don't care, and the only way she's going to survive is she achieves. And so I did. I went and mastered everything. I was a high end, I top graduated. I went into medical school after a junior in college. Anything was accomplishable by me, and I set my face to do it because that's how I survived. And fast forward to this day, it's an amazing story that I get to share now. And I understand why my father was like that, but how many stories are like that are just being hidden in the closets, and we don't know why we do things until we get to a place of healing. So I would say that trauma really happens when there is no adult present. They can look like an adult's present, but there is no real adult present. That's when trauma happens. And so as us little kids, we look up at these big people and we think they're there to protect us, but all they do is hurt us. And it really does distort our perspectives of life, and it alters our destiny. And I believe that part of the journey we have here is to overcome those deep-seated traumas and become the best that we can be and go around and help our other human people, right? This is not an MLM, friends. If you want me to talk about income disclosures and ranks, I'm not going to do it. You got the wrong leader. There's lots of leaders out there that will do that, but this is not what this is about. I promise you, all of that will come. All of that will come if you just have your heart in the right spot.
We have the right leader. I love it. Where else can you hear all these things, all the truths? I love it. I love it. We all can learn about the compensation plan, and
you can do that anytime. I don't even know the compensation plan. I don't even know it. It works. This is what I know. It works. The compensation works.
I love it.
You don't need to know it. You don't need, you just trust, and you go out and help other people. So with that story, I'm going to let you go. I love you, and we will see you soon. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. We'll do this again.
Let these people go to bed. Talk to you later.
You. Thank you. Bye, Christa. Thank you. Woohoo.